What is going on? Back
What's going on,
again.
guys?
Wide World of Reselling. We've got Daniel with us tonight, staying in your own lane. So if anyone hasn't come across Daniel before, links are in the description, like always, when we have a guest on, and all the other boys are in there as well. So welcome, Daniel. Thanks for joining the sausage crew for tonight. We're glad we could get you on. Thanks for coming.
It's been good. Thanks for having me.
No
yeah, it's great to be here. Yeah.
Right, we're keen to
Long
dig
time
right
coming.
into that. Yeah, it has been. We caught up when Flipper was down here, which was awesome. So had a bit of dinner and a few frothies. So Flipper worked a little bit of magic that night. He was still struggling from the night before, but he's back to go now. So before we get into too much of a chat, say a quick hello to people that are in the chat. I'm sure they'll keep filing in through the night. So we've got a few in already. We got old Captain, your mate in SA here, took you to some interesting places, I hear, when even Flipper was here. We won't get into that.
I'd like to get into that, actually.
I didn't spend too much time there, so nothing entertaining happened.
After our chat, that one. Rack Raiders dropped a video today, so I'm going to go check that out after the live. Awesome. Disney Thrifter of Oz. We've got Jazz keeping the chat safe and dropping the links as well. So thank you very much. Yeah, we got Wayne dropping as well. What's up, Wayne? Disgruntled octopus in the house. Chris, I want Flipper to say this one because it stuffs me up every time. So I'm just going to give you a crack at it.
Jozaki lifestyle.
There you go. That's usually watches, I think. So it's just changing the name up a little bit there. We've got Uncle Wayno in the chat as well. Thrifting Oz style. This one is always a good one for Drew.
Cozy clothing and collectibles, Chrissy.
And we'll give Daniel the joy of saying this one because we all love this one.
Good old Aussie tip rat. Here he is. Welcome
there. And we got Saucy Snags, Oz Riley, Mossy, Kelly Hudson, Alex, So Juvenile. We've got a bunch of people. We Love Closet and the Gons are all in the house tonight. So thank you for joining us. Before we get into sort of the normal, I guess, run around, give us a little bit of an introduction to yourself, Daniel, and sort of where your journey started and where people can find you if they haven't found you as of yet.
So my name's Daniel. I go by Staying in Your Own Lane. I'm online on YouTube and on Instagram. I try to post as much as I can, but as you know, the grind never stops. So you're working consistently every day of the week, virtually, 8 to 12 hours a day. Just putting in the work, trying to list items, get packed, like everything shipped, packed out for the day. You know how it is. And I've been reselling now for almost a year and a half. I started in January of 2020, and I found reselling through Rally Routes and part-time pickers, Matt. So for those of you that don't know, they're from US, so they're not really here in Oz, but I have learned a lot from them. So you can't really justify saying something that you were in US can't be here in Oz, because some
absolutely
can be,
both great channels, and Rally Routes is probably one of the first ones we watched as well. So you can definitely get into it through the US, and now you've got a bunch of Aussie channels smashing it out as well. So if you get lost in anything, you don't know about postage and stuff, you can always lean on a few Aussies, or you want to learn some Aussie stuff. There's plenty around now. That's awesome. So yeah, make sure you check out Staying in Your Own Lane on YouTube and Instagram. As you said, pretty busy, still working as well. A part-time job as well, Daniel, is it?
Yeah, I still work at Big W. I used to work pretty much full-time, so I was doing 5 days a week. I'm only a casual employee, but I was working full-time hours. So good money, but to say the least, reselling is paying for itself. So I'm still doing very well reselling as well as keeping the job, but I've managed to scale back my time working for Big W so I can do more reselling. And now it's looking like I might end up leaving the job in a couple of weeks' time. I don't really know. I can't say too much, but I've had a manager that's been there for a few years, so he's a really good manager, and unfortunately he's leaving, so I might end up leaving too.
And just for everyone that doesn't know, you're quite young as well, so give everyone a bit of an insight. How old are you?
Yes, so I'm 20, going on 21 in November.
Wow. Yeah, if I had half the knowledge at 20 that you did, I probably would have wasted a lot less money and drank a lot less beers. So it's great to have you here. We'll do a quick run around of the boys before they get cold, just chilling there. So what's been happening, I guess, the week on eBay? How's it been? How's things flown along? Brad?
Yeah, really good week. Been a busy week. Lots going on, but then just a bit of a crash this weekend. I think yesterday was one of the worst days I've had in a very long time. So a couple of theories behind it. One of them we'll kind of get into in dog shit, and the other one's basically my consistency's been pretty epic for a long time now. I'm pretty proud of that. But this week, my brother dislocated his knee, so Mum had to have him. My brother's disabled, for anyone that doesn't know, and he lives in a house, and he's been back with Mum because he keeps popping his knee out. So she had him sort of for a few days there, which Eli usually spends a day there with her, and I've had him for a couple of days. We've had to juggle a few days around for Kate and everything, so I actually dropped off. Now, I was still getting the listings up every day, but they dropped off from that consistency, so I think that might have had a little bit to do with it. And, and a return sort of open over the weekend. I'll get into that on dog shit, but definitely the worst 2 days I've had in a long time, especially after an epic week. So, yeah, a bit annoyed with that, but that just means I've got to put my head down, my ass up, and fucking get back into it.
Yeah, I feel for your brother because the old dislocated knees are not a fun thing at all. I've done mine a few times and not a fun one. Last one I did it walking around a table, so I was getting pretty loose, and next minute, my knee's on the ground. So I don't envy that at all. I think we'll get into a little bit of the eBay ups and downs throughout the night, but I think there's been a few things like that going on. What about yourself, Drew? How's the week been? You've been traveling a little bit of the New South Wales countryside and making a few people a bit jealous driving around in that van. So give us a little bit of a rundown of the week.
Yeah, we went for a bit of our holidays. We hired a little converted van from Tuesday till Friday. Went up the north coast of New South Wales, up to Crescent Head, up into the mountains, just to do some sightseeing. Got a little bit of a thrift in there, not too much. We did film some sort of vlog stuff for the week. And Sarah may have paid for the entire trip with one item, potentially. Haven't comped it officially yet, but it's a teaser for later in the week. But sales have been pretty slow. We had our handling time extended to 3 days just to manage all that sort of stuff, and had just cheaper items scheduled out throughout the week. But yeah, very, very slow compared to a normal sort of actively listing week. I don't know your theory, but I don't feel like scheduled posts or scheduled listings are quite the same as manually uploading them. But yeah, pretty quiet, but we're on holidays, so not too disappointed. No bullshit or anything, but yeah.
I was keeping a close eye on the account because a bit of van life is what we're keen on doing in the future. So I was trying to log in and check it's Drew and Sarah out all the time just to see if there was any updates. But it was pretty cool to see, and I heard there was some troubles along the way, which I'm sure the video will get into. So we'll have to keep an eye out for that one. But yeah, with the extending your handling time, I know there's a new option now that's I can't even remember what it's called, but it's like what used to be when you set yourself as away, but it's changed a little bit in the way that it's done. Yeah. And I've heard good things about it, so I might try it when we head off next, but we'll see how we go. Daniel, how's the week been? How's things going for you, apart from potentially dropping a little bit of a bomb on us there that you might be moving to a more full-time schedule, but what else has been happening for you, mate?
I don't know. Well, that's the thing. See, I'm stuck now with no more space. So I've run out of space to keep getting more items. So I have to really focus on moving the stuff I've got in the next month to 2 months, however long it takes, really. And then from there, I can keep going. Unless I move into a storage unit, I don't know. But I don't know exactly the plans on where I want to take it from there. But I'd like to keep it to just working from home, really, instead of traveling to and from a place. But where I'm at now for this week, it's been a pretty good week. Sales have been up and down, really. I had a couple of days where I cracked $300 to $400, and then some sales where it's just $50 to $60 a day. It is what it is, it's just the roller coaster of eBay, really.
Yeah.
And with those scheduling listings, I don't actually do that. So I just list whenever I can and just get stuff up whenever I can. If I miss a day, I miss a day. If I miss 2 days, it is what it is. But I just get back in it on that third day. Just don't go a week without doing anything, really. Otherwise, you just spiral down.
It hits you pretty quick. Me personally, and I don't know the back end of eBay. Like, I don't think anybody does. Even eBay probably doesn't. And except for maybe old mate Algorithm over here, might have a bit of an insight. But I think I was actually talking to someone, Chris, earlier in the week about scheduling versus drafting and then putting them up and the differences that I had seen on my own store. And I feel like when you schedule them, eBay knows that you're doing that at the time. So they kind of like put it all in that one bucket of that day, rather than like if you send them live, it kind of like tricks the algorithm, is my thought, and kind of puts it in that day.
Time stamped when you were actually intending to, were actively like on the listing. Makes sense.
That's the way I look at it. I have no proof of that, but when I have tried it in the past, I definitely got less activity when I was scheduling than if I just drafted and left. But who knows? And Daniel, I don't know what you're saying about room there, because I reckon you could fit at least another three high ends. Yeah.
I don't know, if I go any higher, the bottom one might break. So
that was a question I actually had for you, because you're in your bedroom, correct? Is this your bed right behind you there?
That's right.
I was wondering, have you ever had the old slide down, the old crash there? Because I know when I was actually setting up our storage shed, I moved a lot of tubs into the bedroom because we have a lot of extended space in our bedroom. And there was one night there where they all decided to go through the bottom one, and I had skid marks on my sheets. That scared the absolute fuck out of me. So be prepared for that, having storage tubs in the room. But I did go a little bit high, I think. What are we sitting there, Daniel? About 5, 6 tubs high?
5, 6, yeah.
5. I reckon.
Higher than that.
Push it to 8. I reckon you can push to
8. No, I'm not gonna. I can't. I just can't. I don't think it's a good idea. I'll probably have the same thing happen. But the way I'd resolve that issue, I suppose, is maintaining that bottom tote full of inventory. So it's not, there's no space in it, Otherwise, that issue could happen. So that's one of the things I do maintain. Just going through and putting more stuff that I have to list in those totes that have space that I can add more stuff into. And from there, then I've sort of gone over DVDs and media for the past 3 bulk deals from Salvos. We might get into that a bit later, but it's a ton of stuff that just hasn't sold. So, just try and group it together, get it out of a tote so I've got more space in those totes. So now I can sort of put some more stuff in there if I need to, which I will.
Definitely. I just realized we've been ignoring the chat for a little while, so I'll
I saw Wayno's comment in there.
I'll try and pick them up. And all Jazz is saying where we're up to. Ken's dropped in. G'day, Ken. Go follow Daniel Peeps. He has some wicked finds worth heaps you never heard of. Some of the stuff you've sold, mate, has been insane. Jazz is saying, imagine if you started at 20. That would that's a life changer, that one. Killing it, Daniel. Massive props on keeping the job on top of reselling. It's an interesting gig, good job in reselling. I just had the Darren Creswell knee injury go through my mind, pushing it back in.
That's a shocker. That's one of the most disturbing things I think I've ever seen, sporting injury wise. For anyone that hasn't seen that, go and have a look on YouTube. It's brutal.
And get a bucket ready because you're probably gonna need it. Sometimes Uncle Wayno wants to go camping forever. Would you advise that, Drew, after you were a few days in the wilderness?
Maybe. I don't know. It depends.
We'll have to have a bit of a chat afterwards, I think. I need to get the inside knowledge here. Sarah's jumped in. G'day, Sarah. Congrats on your big find. Hopefully it pays for that trip.
Potential find. I'm not going to... It's not legit.
Found Outback has dropped in, and we have Leanne all the way from Ireland as well. So thank you, Leanne. We've got some internationals in the house. I'm infatuated by Daniel Squishy Human. He looks like a B-grade villain. Oh my God. I'm not sure how to take that, Danny. What do you think of that comment?
Oh, he might be right. You never know. Yeah. I was thinking about changing, but oh well. The jumper and the jacket speaks for itself, I guess, doesn't it?
It's a Sunday session. It's winter, so you get what you get. I mean, you get what you get. You actually mentioned something that I did want to talk about, which was your salvos deal. So obviously you've struck up some relationships with some of your local op shops, which is the aim of the game, really. If you get in those back rooms, you find some gems. I know that Brad's been doing a little bit here and there lately, which is awesome. But tell us a little bit about that as much as you want to, Daniel. Obviously, don't give away any of your secrets, but tell us about some of these deals and how they came about for you and what you got out of them.
Sure,
before you do it, Dan, don't give away too much because this bloke here, he don't live that far from you. He's trying to get it out of you, right?
I'll come down there and knock around a few salvos and say,
I did see Jazz and Cara the other last week.
They're watching you. They're the spies. They're out. They're watching you. So.
Got the feelers out.
I mean, I'm sure you both know, all of you know, like, it comes from networking, making those connections, you know. If you're genuine enough and kind enough, pay up for items, I'm sure they're going to be willing to give you a discount at one point or, you know, show you some stuff that's out the back. If you ask genuinely, you know. But with that, I've been hitting that store up for every day, you know, for the past year and a half, all this time I've been doing it. So I've made those connections with the manager and with all the workers that work there. So now I've made connections with the new people that have come in too. So you get to learn and meet new people, and you get new knowledge out of that too, you know, from someone you might not even expect. They would know something on a book or something, you know. It's just ridiculous how much people know on certain things. But with that connection, it just established itself purely from friendship, I suppose, and then just asking. And I managed to get a deal from them. I made a video on it, and that was about the PC games and the media that came from that as well on top. And that was a deal of a lifetime, really, to think that I could get a deal go out the back. That really came about from going and paying for something and then asking. And he said that the manager that was basically serving me that day before I went in for that deal said that they were getting some PC games and they've got a whole cage full of them, and if you want to take a look, you're more than welcome to. So I said, yeah, I'd be interested, and sure enough, I did. Those games turned out to be really worthless. $2 games, you know how it is, and they didn't even sell for me. So I've had them for a month or 2 months and a bit, and they didn't sell. I sold one copy, so I've kept that box of that one game that I've sold, just to see if I can still sell them at least. And I donated the rest back to another charity that will take them to a department store, and they go through everything that gets donated, and then they give it back to the op shops where they go and sell it. So they go through and price everything so they know what they've got. But you still manage to find good deals from Save the Children. So yeah. But yeah, with that deal paid for itself through the media, surprisingly, not through the PC games. For that deal was amazing. I managed to score Project, I can't remember the title now, Project something. And if you go back to the video, it's in the video. I sold that for 400 plus postage of $100 internationally. So it's $500 free postage, essentially, if you want to think about it that way. And it went to someone in the United States, and most of those copies, if not all of those copies, were brand new. So that's what created the value in that series. Until that point, I'd never heard of that DVD series being worth any money, and really identifying that media had that much value. So media has just really just proportionated my business a lot now. So I haven't really managed to get more into toys and video games and garage sales because of it, because I've got so much of it. It's a lot to list, so it takes up a lot of time.
You're covered there, dropping the video right there. So
awesome.
Now you've probably pushed us into the next segment of the week, which is best sale of the week, considering you just gave us a couple little insights there. So we'll get straight onto that. We want to hear from the chat what their best sale of the week is as well. I'll see if I can sort this out without destroying everything. Now, I can't remember whose is whose, but I think this one is Judder's. So give us a rundown on this one, Judder.
Yeah, so this was on that video I did probably 3 months ago or so, and I bought a sort of big collection of vinyl and laser discs and all that sort of stuff. So this was in amongst that lot, and it sat there for a while because its retail price was sitting at about $280 or something. And I thought, look, I'll have a shoot for it because there was nothing really else at the time on eBay. So I chucked it up for that with offers and never really got a bite on it, which, I wasn't sure if I was going to or not. But then I kind of recomped it when I was going through a lot of that stuff because a lot of that stuff's moved on now. So I went back through and I had a look, and there's a lot of people sitting around the 170 mark now listed. So I thought, well, those comps have dropped off. I'll undercut them and just try and get this one out the door. Because I think I was in at these at roughly around probably $3.50 a piece. So, and a lot of it's moved. A couple of the higher end stuff, there was this one and another, a Guns N' Roses one. I've still got the Guns N' Roses one, which I've still got priced probably a little higher. That'll need to come down as well. But, there's been a few out of that lot that I've sold for $100 now. So doing really well out of that deal. But, this one went this week for $150. So very happy with that.
That's it's a quality little sale there. I wouldn't mind finding some of that vinyl stuff because you see a lot of it around, but not a lot of the good stuff. So
no, this one was actually, so basically a lot of the stuff that was in that deal was the stuff that you see today in JB Hi-Fi. So that was an anniversary edition one. It was sealed, and a lot of the ones out of that were all sealed. So it wasn't like they were, your vintage records that go for crazy money. Most of them were just sealed stuff that you pick up today at JB Hi-Fi. So, and that was one of them. It was a limited edition. There's about 5 records in the one. It was a pretty thick sort of cover around it. It was all sealed up. So there was a little bit of vintage stuff in there, like especially with the laser discs and shit, which the laser discs just haven't really gone that well for me. There's been a couple that have done okay, but most of them have actually been shit. But yeah, most of the vinyl was kind of sealed new vinyl.
Yeah, that was an awesome pickup at the garage sale. So it was a nice find there. I think I've got Drew's here ready to go. Tell us about this one, brand that I have not heard of before, Drew. So you're gonna have to fill us in on this one.
So this is not like anything no bolo to. I mean, it is a good brand, but this is a super long tail flip for us. So I think we picked this up in like August last year. It's somewhat of a designer brand. You go on eBay and there's comps around the sort of $80 to $100 mark, and not many of them listed. You're probably looking at a dozen listed, dozen sold. But we picked it up for like $6, like I said, almost 12 months ago, purely based on the comps and like the price was around $80 to $100. Had it listed for this whole time. Finally sold though, 12 months later in our 45% off sale. So it was listed for like $90 or whatever. I can't do the math right now, but yeah, it was just something to showcase because, like I said, it was a quiet week because we were away. The store was had longer handling time, so this was our best sale of the week, unfortunately. But nice to see a longer tail item get out of the door.
Definitely. And you're getting your money back on it for something new, which is always nice. So
we paid $6 to $57 is still always good.
Take that for sure. I'm going to pick up some of the sales from the chat before we get into the last two, Daniel and myself. So I saw Uncle Wayno sold a videotape for $125 plus post, paid 30 cents. You have to tell us what that one was, Wayno. That's a nice little sale there. I'm sure.
He had a bit of smut there a while ago, I seen. It wasn't one of them, was it?
You mean smut?
So let's just say Robbie's lot that he got would be on par with some of that stuff, I'd say. So Robbie will be happy with that one. I'm sure he's going to probably watch back when he gets a chance. JT from my massive Barbie haul, $5 sold yesterday for 39 plus post. I worked it out to being 50 cents a doll. Nice work. Sold a DVD VCR combo no remote 350 was the best one for me. Those DVD combos are amazing. Very hard to come by. Love those DVD VHS. Yep. Best sale. The Witchities Tribe. Is that what that is? 1940s comic. 6 of them, 220 plus post. Had listed at $295. Took best offer, paid $20. Yeah, definitely take those. Not really a sold. Got octo tipsy on Friday night and managed to source a bundle of 3DS games that go for around 200 to 300 each for $25. I think you have to get a bit octo tipsy more often if that's what you're pulling out when you have a few drinks.
Went a bit hard on the salt water, I reckon. I got a funny story actually from this week with the VHS DVD combos. I had a embarrassing little Facebook moment. It was trying to get into the garage sales again at the minute, but there's nothing really around because we've had the restrictions, and it's kind of like down here where I think you're allowed to have 5 people in your house and shit. And the local papers aren't advertising garage sales, and there's nothing really around. But one popped up today, and my Facebook Marketplace has gone to shit. I think I need to update it, but I don't know if it's the same for everyone. I'm not getting dates or even locations sometimes of some of the stuff that's popping up. But anyway, I had one pop up today, and there was a garage sale, and I thought, you beauty. I was looking through the photos, and there was one there that I've actually sold in the past, and I did some videos on it that I had sealed in the box, and another one that I've sold for around the $400 mark. I thought, you beauty, I'm going to get in early and try and snap this up because there's a bit of shit sitting on it. So I sent her a message, and I said, can I purchase this one? And she finally responded later today. I messaged her Friday night, and it turns out it's one that I actually bought back in January. It was a purchase back then. So I've actually already bought and sold that VHS player. There you go. It was an old post.
Well, at least you knew it was going to go for good money, right? I mean,
that's right.
Exact items, so.
I'm just glad I didn't turn up to the garage sale.
That's the real reason to remove your garage sales when you list them up on Facebook Marketplace. Let's get straight into Daniel. Tell us about this one, mate, and where'd you pick it up from? Because a little bit of an interesting item here.
This one here actually came from my recent video that I haven't been able to make the update to, but luckily enough, I've got the computer working again. As you can see, I'm live. This one came from there, and I ended up picking this up for a couple dollars. I think they ended up wanting for it, and I paid $25 for everything I ended up paying from that garage sale alone. So $2 into $100 for a Pandora bracelet. I thought, this is going to be worth some money. I know that Pandora has some significant value, so took a shot in the dark with it for a couple bucks, but it paid off. So that one is actually going out. That's got to go out tomorrow when I go to ship my items out tomorrow. So,
beautiful. That's a nice one. Something a little bit different as well. So if you got any old Pandora laying around, maybe it's worth chucking on eBay. I think Jazz has got some somewhere. Maybe they might end up on that. Don't know. For ourselves, not a biggest sale or anything like that, but a pretty cool one. It was that Dunlop Racing Tires snapback signed by Dick Johnson that we picked up a couple of weeks ago in a video. Sold it for $89, which was nice. We actually put it up on Instagram the other day. Didn't even have to get it authenticated. The signature looked very legit and everything. So $89, I can't remember how much it was. It wasn't much. It was like $5, I think. So nice little find and flip there.
Was that from down this way?
No, that was Savers.
Savers? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Did you see one, did you?
Oh, no. I remember you picking up something from down this way, though. It might have been the Mighty Beans, maybe.
I can't remember now. It's been a while since I've...
It's a while.
That one Savers at Churchill. So, nice little pickup there. Yeah. Just saw the Dunlop sticking out and thought, that's probably going to do all right. So, a couple of weeks and nice little sale. I saw in the chat something about... I saw a VHS DVD combo in a shop for $400 today.
They did their research.
Jazz is not letting me sell the Pandora. Okay. Don't go so.
Just one.
It's fine. It's fine. All right, guys. So I think we've caught everyone's what's sold. Actually, we just sold a pair of Hoka Unos that we picked up yesterday. So that's a nice little sale of the week there. 59 out the door. So keep an eye out for Hoka Uno. So Daniel, give us a little bit of a rundown because I've seen a couple of the crazy items that you have sold. So give us your top 3 because I know one of them was well up around that grand mark, which was a curbside find, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was.
Give us a rundown of your top 3.
All right. So, top number one, I guess we'll call it, is that IFAS machine that I found. Yeah, that was ridiculous. So what it was an electrotherapy high frequency machine that you put little glass parts on your body, and it's meant to relieve pain. Probably doesn't, but let's just say it does. So that thing, I looked it up, and that brand holds significant value. So not significant, but just always, if you see that brand, look up what that item is, because there's probably potential for some really good resale value on it. I looked it up, and I saw that there was another sold comp of pretty much the same thing, a 20-piece set of basically the same thing in a wooden case, like a wooden box, and mine was like a big leather padded case, and and so I thought there's going to be some at least decent value in this, considering it's the same thing. It was just missing one glass piece, and because of that reason, I still picked it up, but I asked for $5 off, and they gave it to me. So I spent $80 on this glass therapy machine, and I rode it back home on my bike with the IKEA bag, and got home safe and sound, listed it that day, and woke up the next morning. That happened on a Saturday. Woke up on a Sunday to it selling for my full asking price of $1,500 plus postage, which was just insane.
Did you have to test it? Did you have to test it? Like, did you just say untested?
Yeah, I said it sold as is, and it powers on. That was all I said.
Wow.
And
$1,500.
Salvos I go to on Crossroads, they test all of their electronics before they put them out. So they're not allowed to put anything out until it's tested and classified as working or for parts. And they have to label it for parts if it is. So, yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
So 80 into 1,500.
80 into 1,500. Yeah, almost a, what is it, 10x maybe on that for 1,600?
It's like 20x somewhere.
Oh yeah, probably. I don't even know the percentage on that, but it's very, very high. Better than the stock market, to say the least.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep investing the money into the business now.
Number two. What's number two?
Number two is going to be that jersey that I found in the hard rubbish, and that happened last year. So I went out last year pretty much every Sunday. I was thinking about going out today, to say the least, looking for hard rubbish to flip online and save it from the landfill, go into landfill, and sell it back on eBay for a profit. And there are many, many other people that do the same thing. So the competition has actually skyrocketed here. So it's a lot harder to find some stuff now. And even the piles, there's barely any more piles out. But I've stopped doing that just to focus on the op shop. So when I was doing it, that was the best thing that I found. I have found many other things that would sell for 20, 30, 40, $50. But that was the most I've ever found from the hard rubbish that I've managed to get.
And that was 1,000, wasn't it?
That was a jersey signed by Mark Davis from the 90s. He was a 90s player who went to move on in management for the NBL. And so he's sort of well known and within the NBL, and people that support that, and so the person that ended up buying it from me knew exactly what he was getting, and he was more than happy to pay the asking price that I had on it, and he just wanted it. So yeah, I paid it. I paid for the insurance on shipping in case anything happened, because that was a very valuable item, and that was probably the second best score today, and the third best score today would have to be a VHS player. It was a recorder. It wasn't a DVD VHS combo, but it was like some specific advanced recorder, and I managed to pick that up from Salvos for $15. And just saying that is just ridiculous, because I sold it for $450 plus postage. So 15 into 450 is just bonkers, really. Like what you managed to pick up, but that was new and sealed. This one was pre-owned, so yeah. Never found the same unit again, but you never know.
Always on the lookout, eh? And that's the thing. Once you find these things once, you always store in the back of your head just in case you find them again. So
that's right.
Cool to hear your top 3. Now we'll get into the next section of the week. Now we like to talk a little bit about dog shit. We like to find out what dog shit of the week has been. So anyone in the chat, let us know if you've had any dog shit this week. We'll pick them up through the way. Daniel will leave you to last so you can have a bit of a think, but you can do dog shit of all time if you want. It doesn't have to be dog shit of the week. So give us your juiciest dog shit when we get around here. We'll start with Flipper though. You gave us a little bit of a lead in at the start there. So tell us, Brad, sounds like you got a bit of dog shit brewing.
Yes, I think it was Friday, right before the weekend cracked. I had a return opened up, which is a really, really friggin' annoying one because I had a bunch of jeans sitting there. So I bought a lot of stuff off a fellow reseller a long time ago, and basically he threw in a heap of stuff for free. And there was a lot of jeans and stuff in there that he's chucked in that didn't have, like, they weren't didn't have a good sell-through rate and, you know, weren't high-end items, but they were still there. I had them listed and I had heaps of them. So there's these brand new tag jeans. And anyway, this woman has gone and bought 5 pairs of the same jean. So thought, you beauty, I never thought these things would sell. My plan was to take them to the market and flog them off for $10 each. You know, good work pants for someone. It'd be a good sort of buy it somewhere like that. eBay, not so much. But anyway, she's bought 5 pairs, every pair that I had of size 30 jeans. So I thought, that's all right. It's got about $150 out of it. So you beauty. But then she wants to return all of them right before the weekend, which is an absolute pain in the ass. So I don't know if that kind of works as the 1 return case or 5 return cases. I'm not sure how that hit my account because I'm actually doing pretty well with returns and stuff. My percentage is actually quite good. I don't get heaps of them. So anyway, the reason being that she wanted to return them is because they didn't fit. She wanted size 40. So 10 sizes off. She hasn't. All the measurements are in the specifics. I put them in the description as well. I add the extra measurements. I don't do the rise anymore because that was just annoying me. It's pretty rare someone actually asks me unless it's female jeans. I'll do them. And then, you know, I put my outside leg and all that sort of stuff as well. So she had all her measurements. It was in the title what size they were, and she's returned them all because they didn't fit. So that was one of my theories why, you know, another theory, conspiracy theory, why the sales had kind of slowed. Saturday it was absolute dog shit. So I've actually refunded her. They're in transit. She sent them back. And quite often if I do get a return, I will actually normally, unless it's something crazy. I've said it on here before. I will actually give them their return or their money back when it's in transit, and just fingers crossed they're all in there. But she seemed like a pretty genuine person. She just can't read properly. So, yeah, it was a bit of dog shit, but, you know, we all face returns. It's just a pain in the ass. It was the one that bought 5 fucking things, and they're all the exact same thing.
That's some definite dog shit right there, and 5 pairs. So I don't know how you get 10 sizes wrong. That's an interesting achievement there. Drew, any dog shit over the last week or so? What's been happening in your area?
No eBay dog shit because there was no sales to. Oh well, I guess that's kind of dog shit in its own sense. But I think I have tinnitus in my ear from driving this van.
Really?
Basically, yeah, it was like the van was completely disheveled. Just the doors didn't close. The driver's window didn't go up the whole time. So I drove like 110 k's for 5 hours straight with whistling in my ear, and I can't hear properly. That's my dog shit.
Wow!
Still ringing 3 days later.
That is dog shit. So no loud sounds or dog whistles.
eBay's good, I guess.
That's a personal dog shit. That one. That's not one that you want. You've stepped right in that one. You shit. Daniel, I've seen a couple in the chat that are pretty big dog shit, so we will get to them as well. But Daniel, give us your dog shit of all time, or the most recent one if you'd like.
I couldn't give you one off the top of my head for the all time, but the most recent one, I suppose, is pretty dog shit. I spent $100 on these cosmetics that go by, oh man, what's the brand? It was, I can't remember the brand now, sorry. But there was a brand of cosmetics that I bought from a thrift store across the road from that Salvo's, and it's a church op shop, and they had $10 a piece on these things, and I thought for $10 a piece they were selling for $40 to $50, $60 online on eBay, and there was only a few comps. There was none listed at the time, so I didn't really take into consideration that there might have been a problem there. So I went and took the gamble on it and listed them that same day, and within 24 to 48 hours I had a VRO on them. So
wow.
Yeah, got dinged on that. So I'm not really too sure what I'm going to end up doing with them. I might take it back and see if I can get my money back. Bit brutal to do it, but otherwise I'll try and sell them on Facebook maybe.
Yeah.
Prayed that I can't get VRO'd on that. So
I think you'll be right on Facebook.
They do review stuff though.
Yeah. That's interesting. You have to, if you remember the name of the brand, you have to tell us because
I think it's Beverly Hills MD, something like that.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not one I personally use, so I'm going to pick up some dog shits from the chat before we get into ours.
I didn't hear anything with some of these Veros though. It's just so random, like the one that you had, Brad, with the Hard Rock Cafe shirt. Like, how the hell are we supposed to know this?
I have no idea. Yeah.
They keep updating it too. Like, they'll add new things in every month or so on, to that list of Vero items, which just companies don't want us, making money off of the money that they've already sold.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make sense, really, because it's secondhand items, but what can you do?
Yeah, and it is hard to keep up with them, and there's even stuff on there that isn't on the list that gets zeroed. So it's hard to keep it on track. Wayne's saying, oh, sorry, I missed a couple. Plenty of dog shit this week, but no old lady shit. So that's a good thing from Wayne. Dog shit, need a new battery for my car. This cold has killed it. And mine struggled yesterday when I was trying to fire it up. So Country Practice won a 6-fight auction. Then they cancelled, saying Sun placed the bid. That old chestnut. It's amazing how 2-year-olds all of a sudden know how to use people's passwords and get into eBay and make a bid and confirm the bid, and then it's pretty talented. This is probably got to take the dog shit of the week, I think. And sorry to hear, Chris. Got caught in a huge storm in Vic. Tree fell on our house. eBay store now in away mode. Adds lots of water damage and damaged stock. Power only came back on today. So here, mate. Really hope that insurance will cover that for you. That's really tough, and obviously rebuilding is going to be a fun time. So hopefully it goes well.
Some of the storms down here were actually brutal. I was just talking to a mate of mine. He's been out at his wife's grandparents' house all week. They not far from here. Her grandfather's in his 80s or something, and said it's the worst thing he's ever seen. And he's like a tree lopper, he was a tree lopper or something. And basically trees have just destroyed their fences, and cattle are all blocked in. Town got blocked in because the trees are covering the roads. I didn't actually think the storm was so bad, but yeah, sorry to hear that, Chris. That's shocking, man.
Yeah, that's rough. I saw Zach jump in as well, so good to see you, Zach. I don't think there's any more. My dog shit was a stack of books and found pages missing. My dog shit is I am clearing out my shed and most of my store, and it's a mission. I believe it would be. Zach's pretty much got a whole thrift shop in his garage, I reckon, so that'd be cool to check out. Someone lowballed us today because they wanted to buy a jacket that wasn't their size and then try to make it their size with their sewing machine. So I think it was a men's Kathmandu, and they said they were like a women's, I don't know, like way different size, and they were going to sew it into their size. I was like, why wouldn't you just go buy the right size for you? Like, why'd you make it so hard for yourself? The octopus had Dr. Seuss books pulled for supporting an extremely violent person. Oh, yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't have to be on the Vero list, which is crazy. Hey, Tamara, thanks for coming. Good to see you. Hope you guys are doing well. Only shit for me was a guy from Thailand trying to do a tax dirty. Wow, that's crazy. I had someone return a game because her toddler accidentally bought it. She didn't realize until she received it. and Jesse had gastro. So
Good.
that's not it. And Jazz covered off our dog shit for the week. We've got a return that's sitting there as well from like 2 weeks ago that he was supposed to return, and he hasn't. He hasn't sent it yet, so I can't even give him his money back. He just has to sit there until he actually sends it. So kind of a bit annoying because you want to get that off the radar as soon as possible and move on, but nothing too serious. So yeah, interesting to hear everyone's dog shit for the week, and thanks for sharing yours with us, Daniel. It's always cool to hear the stories that we don't get to hear very often, so thanks for sharing that with us. We've got about 10 minutes to go, so we'll do a quick little run around of what's coming up for everyone's channels. Be a really good chance for you to plug what's going on Stay in Your Own Lane as well, Daniel, when we get to you.
Sure.
Brad, you mentioned beforehand that you got some decent deals this weekend, so going to be a video on that one coming out for us, is there?
Yeah, we'll do another little video like that. I've been, I mentioned a couple of weeks ago trying to drop the 2 a week, but just been really busy lately. So yeah, I'll have a little bit of an update on that. There's just a few nice little pieces that I've picked up, and a lot of that is many thanks to someone within the community. So I'll show a bit of that off, do a bit of a thrift. I've had some people within the community just really generous things going on, sending some stuff out too. So, it's a big week coming up. So there will be a video. It'll be probably similar to last week's style, just a bit more of a vloggy type video. But, I'm going to try and push back to doing 2 a week, but there'll be definitely a video this Thursday. So Thursday morning we'll drop again. I just read the Aussie Hustler had a shocking dog there.
Oh, shit. eBay support opened multiple return requests on my account as a buyer. Now I'm suspended and all my selling listings have been removed. How do they open a return? That is dog shit.
Yeah.
Wow, that's bad. Jeez.
Yeah. How does that? I don't even understand how that happens. Like, how do they open? There has to be a backstory to that, and I'd be interested to hear what's going on there, because that's definitely something eBay need to be on top of. Drew, obviously we'll hopefully get a bit of footage from the trip. How much did we get? How much filming did you get in along the way?
I drove. Well, I didn't trust Sarah, and like this van was bad. I didn't trust Sarah driving. I had to drive the whole time, so it really depends on what Sarah chose to film, and I'll find out on Wednesday when I sit down to edit it. So it'll just be a mashup of all the stuff we've seen and a tiny bit of thrift, but yeah, we'll just travel type video. That's all we really have planned for this week. We do have a supplementary podcast episode with Chris out on Tuesday, so that's sort of like just a few songs that Chris listens to get motivated to. So it's sort of like a take 5. If you listen to Triple J, like you take 5 of your favorite songs of different artists. So Chris shares some songs that he's interested in and keeps him motivated. We chat about those songs. So it's a little side episode to his main one from last week.
Beautiful. And then when will the next main episode of...
That'll be the week after. That'll be back to just me and Sarah chatting it up. Yep.
I really enjoyed your chat with Chris the other day as well. So if you haven't checked out any of that, make sure you head over to both the YouTube channel and also the podcast and give them a listen. The link to the YouTube channel is in the description, and I'm sure you've linked out to your podcast in your YouTube channel. So definitely check that one out. Daniel, so obviously you're on Instagram, you've got YouTube channel as well. Any plans for any video content soon? I know everything's been busy, but you're sort of going to try and pump some more stuff out soon for us?
Definitely will be, yeah. I was in the works, halfway through the works of putting that part 2 to the garage sale video together before my computer went to shit, really. So what happened was my RAM sticks needed a good clean, and I don't have a non-static brush, so I had to order one and wait for a few weeks before I could go and clean the computer and get it working again, get the monitor working. So hopefully this week I can get that video done and get that video out, and then see if I can put another video together with the content that I have on the computer. So we'll see how we go. Yeah.
So link in the description for Staying in Your Own Lane. Make sure you go over, give us a sub, and check out Instagram as well. Same handle. So you should be able to find you there. And I think we're going to try and do a meetup at some point and do a little bit of thrift along together. So keep a little bit of an eye out for that one. We'll try and tee something up sometime soon, which should be some fun. Probably come down your way. Might be able to drag Toby in on it as well. We'll have to see what we get up. For us, we're continuing with the vlog style this week. So went out Saturday, got some good items for a change, which is nice. But we're also looking at some alternative sourcing options at the moment. So we'll try and include that in the vid and share as much as we can. Obviously, when you're doing a little bit of alternate sourcing, something you have to keep to yourself, but we'll try and share as much of that as we can. Ticking along well. So that'll be out Friday, like always, 1 video per week now. Unless we decide to do 2 at some point. But it's going well. So I'm enjoying those videos. So boys, before we head off, does anyone in the chat or any of you guys have any questions for Daniel while we've got him for another 5 or so minutes before we head off into Sunday evening?
Yeah, I had the luxury of having a good old chat with Dan. What was it, about 6 weeks ago when we were over there? I'm actually very interested in talking with him, especially at his age, that just how switched on he is. And I mentioned this on my video, just with money in general and the reselling, the passion that he had behind it. And I mean, at such a young age, still with your parents and that, look at your bedroom compared to mine. Like when I was your age, it was full of empty stubbies and bloody used condoms.
What do you mean when you're 20?
Yeah, so but the thing that got me most is, and you touched on it a little bit, but how you get around when you are sourcing. Now, let's touch on that. Your transport, and I want to know how you actually maneuver, because I know when I get around in the car, I fill the bloody thing at times. So do you have to be? I would like you to touch on that a little bit.
Okay, so when I do go sourcing, when I go op shopping, I'm on the bike, and so that's, I'm lucky to say that I have 4 or 5 op shops that are really close by. So I live off of a main road, and I've got another main road sort of over, and then another one on the other side. So there's 1 op shop on this one, and then there's 3 or 4 over here, then there's 2 or 3 down on this road here. So I'm really lucky to be able to source in varieties of op shops and get a variety of items. And when I'm doing that, I'm trying to pick and pluck the highest dollar items that I can find, $40, $50 average, at least, maybe 2 under 20, if I can always take that. That's good bread and butter. Always love it. And, whether it's that or it's $100 sale, it doesn't matter. Like you've said, Judder, you're always thankful for the $10 sales as well as the $100 sales. So same goes here, and then with the garage sales, that's how it goes. Fill up the car. I tend to wake up Dad and get him to take me out, probably within 5 to 10 Ks. Not really 10 Ks, probably more like 5 Ks, just sort of circle around and just see what's around that's close by. If there's 4 or 5 on, go and hit them all up and then fill up the car and come back home. Yeah.
Love that. And I love that your old man's getting involved. Does he share the same passion? Does he have similar sort of, I know you've mentioned your dad before with some of those pretty high-end books that you've picked up. Does he get in there and do a bit of reselling himself?
Not as much, no. I don't think he's really that into it. He has piqued his interest because of me doing it. He's more so surprised that, I can sell what I can sell. Like, he's like, oh, you're not going to get, shit for that. And I'll sell it for $50. And he's like, what? Those were the days when I first started out. So I think he's more so surprised by the fact that I've managed to do it. But he did take me out when I was younger, going garage sailing. And I think that was more so inspired by the fact that we had our garage sale ourselves when I was younger. So that sort of, I guess, maybe has played a part into this. But in all sense, when I was throughout my youth, I wouldn't have never considered that I'd be an eBay reseller, where I was at. Yeah.
And the Aussie hustler here said maybe she needs to buy a smaller car. So she was thinking about getting a bigger one, but you might have pointed her in the direction of going on the bike and really, really cherry picking and getting the good gears. All I'm imagining is this giant IKEA bag strapped to your back and you're just riding down the road, just like.
Well, you can see me from a mile away. Yeah.
Yeah, I just saw a picture like how, in India when they got the bags on either side, the one's on the back and the one on their fucking head. I'm just picturing Daniel going down the road. Yeah, the Salvo's bag up here, a couple of Vinnie's bags.
I'm thinking more with the basket on the front. The streamers off the handles and the basket on the front. The VHS on the front.
You might need to get like a sidecar or something, Daniel, just to chuck
that
on
would be good.
A little trailer.
Trailer. That's what you need.
Little trailer at the back or a basket, massive crate at the back as well, or something or other. Yeah.
Question from Zach: How do you manage your hard rubbish sourcing in general? So, do you have a strategy? Do you know when it occurs regularly, or you just go every Sunday, or?
Yeah. So with that, I don't do it as much as I used to. So when I was doing it, I was sort of going out Sunday or a Monday because those tend to be the days when the bins were out. So there was more likely to, have hard rubbish really, and have sort of clear outs. I did really well with public holidays. So whenever there's a public holiday, I think people like to do a house clean out. So going out on those days is definitely probably a good way to find some stuff. And then with sourcing in general, I don't do it anymore, to be honest, but when I can, I will go out and take the chance for it. But I find there's more money to be made in doing op shops and garage sales for me personally. But there is plenty of money to be made if you're finding piles of hard rubbish. And being on the bike, it's a lot harder.
Not going to take any cabinet tone on the bike, you reckon, might be a bit of a struggle?
No. I was lucky to found a DVD VHS combo and then a VHS player in the hard rubbish, and taking that in an IKEA bag along with a bunch of other stuff that I had as well was not fun. So I don't want to do it again.
And they worked?
Oh yeah.
That's crazy. Hey,
funny enough. Mad cleanup on it, but it worked.
Yeah, I still don't think anyone's going to beat some of Zach's finds on his hard rubbish. Some of the stuff he finds is ridiculous. So if anyone can get to his clear out sale, I'm sure they'll do well out of it. And Drew, that might be a good little sourcing trip for you guys.
I'll go and see him. I'll probably end up with a boot full of chutney, to be honest.
He does make a good chutney, that's for sure. So I guess we'll start wrapping it up, but I wanted to thank Daniel for joining us tonight. Make sure you head over, check out the channel and his Instagram if you have not yet. Another Adelaide reseller, so plenty around here in South Australia. But yeah, it's always good to run into fellow South Aussies and seeing everyone do well. So make sure you head over, check that out, check out some videos, and leave him a big thumbs up and a comment as well for all his hard work. But thanks to the boys for giving us another Sunday night. Hope Drew's tinnitus fades away pretty shortly, because he's making van life sound a bit tough, to be fair. And Brad's returned this week with no lung disease, so we've had a win there. So thanks everyone. Thanks everyone for joining. Any last outro you want to say at all, Daniel? Any reason why people should definitely come over and give you a look?
Well, if I do end up going full time, I will be trying to get more content out. So I plan to really just share as much as I can for free, not charge for information, and just give you guys whatever I can in terms of bolos and systems, and hopefully when I can start automating processes, show you guys how I'm doing that. So yeah. If you guys are interested in following along and tagging along on the journey of reselling and sort of that route, feel free to go check out the channel. But other than that, I don't expect you guys to. So thank you for having me.
Make sure you get over there. Don't
get over there.
Get over there.
But don't, when you go over there, don't just sub because he's been on here and we're telling you and you're going to pump his subs up. Actually watch his videos, because this is a kid hustling hard. He's 20 years old, and most of us, I wasn't thinking about this at that age. Like, he is doing amazing things, and some of the knowledge that he has, and as I said, I had the luxury of meeting up with Daniel 6 weeks ago or something and just talking to him in the flesh. Some of the things he knows is phenomenal. So I can't wait to watch not just his business grow, but, the channel grow and some of the stuff that I can learn from him, because who would have thought some fucking Zappy thing would be worth $1,500? I haven't seen anyone talk about things like that before. That's just so unique. So if you're going to go over and sub, make sure you watch his content as well, because it's really, really good. You're doing good things, man, and appreciate it.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely always learn stuff off everyone that puts stuff out. So make sure you go over and have a watch. But thanks, everyone, for coming. We'll be back here, same place, same ugly mugs next Sunday night. Not sure if we'll have a guest or if it'll just be the three sausages. We'll work that out through the week. But thanks, everyone, for your time. Hope you guys have a great week on eBay and a great week in general. We appreciate all your support, and we will see you next week on Wide World of Reselling.